They say money can build empires, but it can also burn down everything you love. Imagine discovering that the person you trusted most, your own daughter, was hiding $30 million from you. What would you do if every smile, every hug, every sweet promise was just a cover for a secret that could tear your family apart? Tonight, you're about to hear a story of betrayal, greed, and shocking consequences. And trust me, you won't see the ending coming. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our channel so you never miss stories like this, real tales that will shock you, inspire you, and keep you hooked until the very last second. Now, let's begin. My name is Rebecca. I'm 32 years old, living in Chicago, and for most of my life I believed my family was unbreakable. My daughter, Emily, was just 15 when all of this started. She was brilliant, sharper than most adults I knew, and sometimes I thought she was too smart for her own good. We weren't rich, not at all. I worked long shifts at a logistics company while trying to balance the bills and rent. Her father, Daniel, had passed away when Emily was little, so it was just the two of us. And maybe that's why she meant everything to me, because she was all I had left. But one night, everything began to change. It was late, around 11 p.m., when I walked past Emily's room. Her door was shut, but I heard voices. Curious, I pushed it open slightly, expecting to catch her watching YouTube or chatting with friends. Instead, I saw her screen filled with lines of code and flashing numbers. "Emily?" I whispered. She jumped, quickly slamming her laptop shut. "Mom, you scared me," she said, her face pale. "What were you doing?" "Just homework," she muttered, avoiding my eyes. But deep down, I knew she was lying. For the next few weeks, little things kept bothering me. Emily suddenly had expensive sneakers, a brand new phone, even jewelry. Whenever I asked, she brushed it off. "Oh, I got it from a friend, or I found it on sale." At first, I wanted to believe her. But the truth was knocking on my door louder each day. Then, the shock came. One afternoon, while I was cleaning, I found a thick envelope hidden under her bed. Inside was nearly $20,000 in cash. My hands trembled. My teenage daughter had more money hidden away than I had ever seen in my life. When I confronted her, Emily froze. Her lips parted, but no words came. Finally, she whispered, "It's not what you think." "Then tell me what it is," I demanded. She bit her lip, her eyes darting like a trapped animal. I invested in something online. And it worked. Really worked. I couldn't believe my ears. A 15-year-old? Investing? Where did she even learn that? Suspense tightened around me like a noose. "Emily, how much money are we talking about?" She hesitated before whispering, "About 30 million. My knees buckled. $30 million. My daughter had a secret fortune, one she never breathed a word about. From that moment, nothing was the same. At first, Emily swore she'd use the money for us. She promised we'd finally leave our tiny apartment, get a real house, maybe even start fresh somewhere new. For a moment, I let myself dream. But dreams quickly turned into nightmares. Emily started acting like a stranger. She looked down on me, mocked my simple job, and even began surrounding herself with people I didn't know, older men in suits, shady women who whispered in corners. One evening, I came home to find the living room transformed. Champagne bottles, expensive decorations, and strangers filling my house. Emily was in the center, wearing a sparkling dress that looked like it cost more than our yearly rent. "Emily, what is this?" I asked, horrified. She rolled her eyes. "It's just a little party, Mom. Don't be so uptight." But it wasn't just a party. The air smelled of greed and danger. These weren't her classmates. These were people who saw her as a golden goose. And as I stood there, feeling completely out of place, one of the men leaned close to Emily and whispered something. She laughed, her voice sharp, unfamiliar. My heart dropped. My daughter wasn't the same girl anymore. That night, I confronted her again. This money is destroying you, I shouted. Destroying me? No, Mom, it's making me stronger. For once, I don't have to live like you, scraping by, begging for scraps. I'm not weak like you. Her words cut me deeper than any knife. But the nightmare wasn't over. The weeks passed, and Emily's empire grew. She bought a penthouse downtown without telling me. She stopped coming home. The little girl who used to hold my hand when crossing the street was gone, replaced by a cold, calculating young woman. Then came the final betrayal. One morning, I received a call from our landlord. Rebecca, I'm sorry, but you and your daughter have vacated the lease. The apartment is no longer yours. What? I never signed anything. He sighed. Your daughter did. She paid everything up front. But she said you wouldn't be living there anymore. My chest tightened. My own daughter had thrown me out of my home. With nowhere to go, I stayed with a friend, but my mind never stopped racing. How could Emily do this to me? Had $30 million blinded her so much that she no longer saw me as her mother? Days turned into weeks. Then, one night, everything shifted again. I was sitting alone in my friend's apartment when I heard frantic knocking at the door. When I opened it, there she was, Emily. Her glamorous clothes were torn, her makeup smeared with tears, and her hands trembling. Mom, she whispered, her voice breaking. I need your help. I froze. The girl who had betrayed me, humiliated me, abandoned me, was now begging at my doorstep. But why? What had happened? The answer would shock me even more than the secret fortune itself. Emily stood trembling at the doorway, her once polished nails chipped, her glittering dress torn, her entire body shaking as though the ground beneath her had collapsed. For a moment, I just stared at her, torn between anger and the instinct of a mother who wanted to protect her child no matter what. Emily, my voice cracked. Why are you here? What happened? She broke into sobs, collapsing against me. Mom, please, I don't know what to do. They're after me. I stiffened. Who's after you? Her eyes darted frantically, as if even saying their names would summon them. The people I trusted. The ones who promised to help me manage the money. They lied, Mom. They tricked me. And now everything's falling apart. My heart pounded. I guided her inside, shutting the door behind us. She clung to me like the little girl I once knew, and for the first time in months, I felt her fragility, not her arrogance. She sat down at the kitchen table, hands trembling as she tried to explain. They said I was smart enough to grow the money, she whispered. They called me a genius. They told me I could double it, triple it. But it was all fake. Mom. I lost most of it. I swallowed hard. How much, Emily? She looked at me with wide, tear-filled eyes. Almost 25 million. It's gone. Just gone. The weight of her words crushed me. $30 million vanished into thin air. And now, those same people she once celebrated with were hunting her. The knocking started again that night. This time, it wasn't Emily. 3 sharp bangs rattled the door. My blood froze. Don't answer it, Emily whispered, panic flooding her face. But the banging grew louder. Emily, a man's voice boomed. You think you can steal from us and run? Open the door before we break it down. She clutched my arm. Mom, please, don't let them in. I felt my entire body tense. In that moment, survival instincts took over. I turned off the lights, pulled Emily into the back room, and whispered, stay quiet. For nearly an hour, the pounding continued, then silence. We stayed frozen, listening for footsteps outside. My heart pounded so hard I thought it would break my ribs. The next morning, Emily confessed everything. They found me at the penthouse. They demanded more money, but I didn't have it. When I refused, they threatened me. I had no one else to turn to. I know I hurt you, Mom, but please, please help me. I wanted to scream at her, to remind her how she threw me out of my own home, how she called me weak, how she chose money over me. But instead, I asked quietly, why should I help you now? Her lips trembled. Because, you're all I have left. The following days felt like a nightmare that wouldn't end. We moved between cheap motels, hiding from shadowy figures who seemed to follow us everywhere. Emily barely slept, jumping at every sound. Her once glamorous life had vanished overnight, replaced with fear and paranoia. And slowly, I began to see the daughter I once knew beneath the cracks. One night, as we huddled in a dingy motel room, she whispered, "Mom, I'm sorry. I thought money would solve everything. I thought it would make me stronger. But it destroyed me. And I destroyed us." Her words broke me. I had waited so long to hear them. But forgiveness wasn't that simple. The final blow came when we discovered just how deep her betrayal had gone. While searching for ways to protect her, I uncovered documents she had hidden. Bank transfers. Contracts. A will. In one of them, Emily had signed my name away, transferring our family apartment to someone else without my knowledge. That was why the landlord had called me. She had lied, forged my signature, and taken away the last piece of stability I had. "Emily," I shouted, holding the papers in front of her. "How could you? You didn't just betray me, you erased me." Tears streamed down her face. "I thought I was protecting us. I thought if I handled everything, we'd be safe. I didn't know what I was doing. Please, Mom, believe me." But my trust had already shattered. The climax came 2 nights later. We were hiding again when the men finally found us. They burst through the motel door, dragging Emily by the arm. I screamed, trying to pull her back, but they shoved me aside. "You owe us, girl," one of them snarled. "You don't play with 30 million and walk away free." Emily sobbed, "I don't have it. Please, just let me go." One of the men raised his hand, and for a terrifying second, I thought he would strike her. That was when something inside me snapped. I lunged forward, grabbing the closest object, a broken lamp, and smashed it against the man's shoulder. He cursed, stumbling back. Chaos erupted. Shouts, screams, footsteps pounding. I don't even remember how we escaped, only that somehow, we ran into the night, breathless and terrified. The police got involved the next morning. I made Emily tell them everything, the investments, the fraud, the threats. It wasn't easy, and it didn't magically fix our lives. The money was gone, those men were still out there, and Emily had to face consequences for her reckless decisions. But something changed that day. For the first time in months, she clung to me, not as someone she looked down on, but as her mother, the only person still standing by her side. "Mom," she whispered, tears in her eyes, "I don't deserve your love. But I need it." And though my heart was torn, I pulled her close. "You may have destroyed everything, Emily. But you're still my daughter. And as long as you choose to change, I'll stand with you." That's how our story ends, not with $30 million, not with luxury or glory, but with something far more fragile and precious. A broken family, trying to rebuild from the ashes of betrayal. Emily lost her fortune. I lost my trust. But in the end, we found something worth saving, each other. And maybe, just maybe, that was the real treasure all along.